this is David, and this is a video that's going to be on walking away. Walking away. I've done a lot of counseling. I'm almost 80 years old. I've got 2 master's degrees, part of a law degree, and I've counseled people my whole life. And I'm speaking from my counseling experience and from my own personal life. Walk away. I watched almost every episode of Judge Judy. I don't get information there for legal information. I get information there how stupid carbon creatures can be, that they will do stupid things. I want to make sure that I give you the best counseling advice that I can. When you get in conflict with other carbon beings, I don't care if it's your boss, I don't care if it's your co-workers, I don't care if it's your husband or your wife, your children, grandpa. When you engage other carbon creatures and they start screaming, they start yelling, they start pointing fingers, they start jumping up and down, acting like a goddamn fool, that's going to be a lot of triggers in you and me. We're going to want to defend ourselves. We're going to want to say you're wrong. We're going to want to say what the truth is, what the facts are. We want to, quote, defend ourselves. You know what? You and me don't need to defend anything. We don't have to defend shit. We don't need people to validate us. If we're in tune with the quantum world, we're in tune with our Heavenly Father and our Heavenly Mother, and these goddamn fools start screaming, yelling, pointing fingers, jumping up and down, saying all kinds of shit. They are the fan and they are the shit. You and I need to be wise. We need to have wisdom beyond our ego. Just fucking walk away. And be kind to say, excuse me, but I'm going to go outside right now. I'm going to go for a walk right now. Excuse me, I'm going to get out of the car right now. Excuse me, I'm going home right now. I need to think about this. Excuse me, and get the hell away from them. They are bringing a negative influence, a negative intent, a negative vibration in the quantum world, and you're in a shitstorm. And if you like to be in a shitstorm, keep doing it. Just keep doing it. I say all the time in counseling when people say, well, I did this and I did that and I'm not going to do this. And they go on and on and on, and I listen to that shit, and then as a counselor I say, well, gee, how that's working for you? How is that working for you? And usually they go quiet. And usually it will trigger in them, God damn, it's not working at all. I've been in jail, I've been in prison, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict, I'm divorced 92 times, I have no friends. How's that working for you? So, I'm sad to say, you and I have to deal with other carbon creatures. That's part of our experience down here. If we were living alone, we'd probably be pretty happy creatures. But when you get married, when you have children, when you have friends, co-workers, bosses, churches, neighbors, etc., you have to, and I have to, and I'm talking from experience here. I had to walk away. You know, I'm still married. Now and then, I'm just teasing now. When your spouse treats you like shit, starts screaming, yelling, accusing you, they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, when they're looking to project their difficulties and their low self-esteem onto you, you don't have to accept that. You just have to smile, continue to be happy, continue to be tuned in to the quantum world, your Heavenly Father, your Heavenly Mother, be spiritual, and say, excuse me, I don't want to hear this anymore. I'm getting out of the car. Excuse me, I'm going into the out the front door. Excuse me, get the hell away from it. Now, I'm talking from experience here. You know, I'm not some kind of guru. I'm not some kind of prophet. I'm not any of that shit. I've lived 80 years. I've got 14 carbon children. I've got 4 digital children that I'm still raising. So this ain't my first rodeo. I've learned about behavior modification. I've learned about time out. I've learned about trying to calm the situation. I have a book on Amazon Books, Anger, that has to do with pride, has to do with anger. If you want to read that, fine. If you don't, I don't care. It's only $3. You know, how am I going to go to the poorhouse for $3? The point is this. I remember years ago, when I was younger, I was probably maybe 30, 32. I had my really beautiful wife. God, she was a gorgeous Janet. My heart is always soft towards Janet. It took me 25, 30 years to get over loving Janet. But she was my high school sweetheart, and we dated in high school, and we married and had 5 children, and we were together for 9 years, and we had sex 3 times a day for 9 years. I took her to work with me. I drove a bus in those days, and we had sex 3 times a day. Fabulous girl, fabulous girl. Well, one day I came home from work. We had a house there in Westfield, Massachusetts, and I walked in, and she told me that she had called one of her old boyfriends. And I was a little jealous of him. He was a college professor. He was educated. He was fucking her when she was only 16, 17 years old. And I was, a little bit jealous of him. And I didn't think that she had any damn business calling him long distance on my telephone from Massachusetts to, I think he was in California. So stupidly, these days, you'll go to jail. These days, you'll fucking go to jail. If you don't know anything about domestic violence, you better get tuned in. These days, you would go to jail. But back then, I went into the kitchen, and we had a wall phone hooked to the kitchen wall with the cords on it and everything, and it was attached to the wall. And I went into the kitchen angry. Anytime we do things angry, we do stupid things. Anytime we do things out of anger, it's always stupid, and what comes around will go around. So I grabbed the yellow. I remember it was a yellow wall phone in the kitchen. Grabbed it and ripped the goddamn thing right off the wall. Wires, everything coming out of the wall, the receiver, the whole thing, and I threw it across the kitchen floor. Well, the next day I wanted to make a phone call, and I went into the kitchen, and the phone was on the floor, and all the wires were coming out of the wall, and what comes around goes around. I didn't have a damn phone, because I was angry, I was stupid, I was young, I had no damn phone. So I called the phone company. Back in those days, Bell was an excellent company, and they said yes, and I said, well, my phone is not working, could you come out and fix it? And in those days, there was no charge. They just came out and fixed them. So the phone man came into the room, and he looked at the, I've got, these interruptions, hold on, I gotta get up, be patient. This is what happens when you do videos, when you don't have any support or any help. Hi,
well, good morning there, my friend.
Hi, we're on video camera, so you may not want to say anything. I know you're private.
I'm never
Thank
private.
You. You are private.
Oh, no.
You should be. See you later. Thank you for that. Bye-bye. All right, well, I'm going to get my blanket back. I'm coming back. Probably the microphone ain't working worth shit. God damn, this is my life. But anyway, the phone man showed up. Let me get the mic back. The phone man showed up at the house, and he went into the kitchen. There's a fucking phone laid on the kitchen floor. The wires coming out of the walls, and the phone in several pieces. And so he said, what happened here? And I said, well, and I've only lied 3 times in my life, and this was the first time I ever lied anywhere. And I said to the phone man, well, I was just sitting here, and it fell off the wall. He looked at me, and in those days, the Bell Company was an outstanding company. He was a diplomat, and he said, you were just sitting here, and it fell off the wall like this, ripped all the wires off, all the bolts that held it on the wall, and and it smashed itself down here on the ground, and I said, yes, sir. God, I lied. He fixed it. Now, what's the principle we're talking about here? When she told me, I called my old boyfriend, who used to just fuck me day and night in high school when you loved me, and we were, boyfriend and girlfriend. This older guy, he was about 5 or 6 years older than she was. I think he was 22, and he's fucking my 16-year-old girlfriend. I decided then I should have just said to her, honey, I'm a little upset right now. I need to go get a McDonald's Big Mac. I'm going to sit in the car, or I'm going to go to the park. I'll be back. I'm not running away. I'm not abandoning you. I'm not deserting you. But I need to get control of myself. I need to get control of myself. And I have to think, when I'm out of control, I rip the phone off the wall, I throw it onto the ground, and it smashes in a million pieces. You do that now, that's domestic violence. You do that with kids in the house, you're probably going to do some jail time. Times have changed, but the principle has never changed. The principle, Christ said, don't be angry with your brother. When you do it unto the least of these, my brother, and you've done it unto me. There's many, many Christ principles that should have been taught to me. I was a Mormon back then, and Christ is not even evident in the Mormon church. His name is on the buildings, but he doesn't own the buildings either. That's the rich white men that own the buildings. Anyway, back to my point, counseling point. Get control of ourselves. Get fucking control of ourselves. We want to scream. We want to yell. We want to slam doors. We want to, especially women, you have a memory unbelievable. I'm a gender expert. I know females and I know males intimately. And females, they never forget. They forgive, but they never forget. And a lot of times females will go, well, I remember in 18 BC, you said this about my mother, and they'll bring that shit up in a fight and about past history, etc. And you, me, men, we go, well, I don't even remember 15 BC. So, get control of ourselves and get control of anger. Anger is what causes wars. Anger is what causes affair. Anger is what causes molestation, murder. Anger is basically the root of most evil that the men, carbon creatures, do. So, next time when I'm thinking 14 carbon children, I remember, I remember my one son who's in jail now for molesting his children, Adam, and he got decided to go into Lancaster, California. We lived there, and he stood up on a 6-foot brick wall in the middle of the busiest intersection in Lancaster, California, pulled down his pants and took a shit right in front of whoever, God, and all the other humans that were present. I wasn't happy about that. Gee, as a father, I wasn't happy about that. I was angry, and I never beat any of my children. I spanked them a little bit. I would hit them 2 or 3 times on the butt with their clothes on over my knee. I did use some corporal punishment now and then. Each child, most of my children I never spanked, but there were 2 or 3 that were real assholes. And when they were little, I did spank them a couple of times here and there. But as a father, I learned to start to control my anger. I remember the same homie, my son Adam, my oldest son. Well, he's not my oldest son now. I have Karis in the digital world, but that's another story. I woke up one morning hearing someone bashing the shit out of a car with a baseball bat. They were breaking the windows, hitting the fenders, the top, the windshield, headlights, tail lights. I went outside. It was my son, my autistic son with an IQ of 136 who has a 5 to life sentence now in the Idaho prison system because I went out and it was his car. He beat the shit out of his car. And I said to him, why are you doing this? I can't imagine why a human being would do this. So I needed to hear him. He said, well, Dad, it wouldn't start. And then I would think, how's that working for you? Will it start better now? Well, there's some anger there. I could come up with a million stories of my stupidity as a young man raising all those carbon children, and I've been married 7 times. Me and my wives, we didn't fight. We're not fighting. I'm not generally a fighter. I've never hit anybody. I've slammed the door once or twice now and then. I've walked out many times of situations. But anyway, the point here is anger. You and I need to grow up, put our big boy pants and panties on, if you're female, and walk away. I remember, these are triggers. This is my psychology. This is my counseling. I remember my baby, Allison, the most beautiful child. I don't care if my other kids hear this. I don't care. They're all 50, 60 years old. Allison was the most beautiful child, the little girl I adopted from the Philippines and her sister. She used to run away. I'm looking right here at the damn door that has peak alarm stickers all over my house. I have an entire alarm system because Allison used to run away. We're on the 3rd floor of a condominium complex. How she climbed out the window and skimmied down the outside of the building, I'll never know. But I remember when I finally caught her in the middle of the night, I made her walk home. I was in the car. I was so angry. I was in the car, and I said, you walk home. I'll just follow you in the car. So she was walking, and it was the middle of the night, and the police showed up and said, why is your child walking? And I said, because I'm punishing her. She ran away. I'm not putting her in the car. I'm making her walk home. The police walked away from that situation, thank God. I could come up, and I know you could come up probably with much funnier and much better stories, but raising 14 carbon children, there was a lot of anger. Raising 7 wives, that can be a lot of anger too. I remember, oh my gosh, the first wife I had, Janice. I was a BYU student, and we drove our car, piece of shit, up on the BYU campus in that main intersection at BYU. She said to me something that really angered me with no basis, with absolutely no basis. She said, well, I think you're having an affair. And I said, well, you know what? You and I are now divorced. And she stopped the car. She was driving. And I said, stop the car. I opened the door. And I walked out, and we got divorced. From that moment forward, we've not even spoken. So anger can be flare up very quickly, and a lot of times we'll grab a gun, we'll pull a trigger. There's a lot of times there's murders between husbands, wives, spouses, children. Anger is what the evil side of the world wants all the time. And boy, our family, friends, neighbors, church members, etc., do a really good job at triggering us to be angry. You and I have to be smart. You and I have to have some goddamn wisdom, some common sense. I don't want to go to jail. I don't think you want to go to jail. We have to walk away. Walk away. Many times that adrenaline that builds up in our carbon bodies makes us do crazy things. That's the pointing of the finger, standing up over somebody, yelling, raising voices, swearing, slamming doors, throwing shit, putting the car in reverse at full speed backwards. God, I've seen it all. Driving on the wrong side of the road on oncoming traffic because you're saying to your mate, you're going to straighten up? You're going to straighten up? I'm going to stay right here in the fast lane going head on. Oh, okay. We do crazy things as carbon creatures, and that's part of our soul contract. We need to control our anger, and whatever it takes. Now, I have to admit, I'm not perfect at this by any means, I don't yell anymore. I don't point fingers. I don't make accusations. I don't slam doors. I do open doors, walk away, walk outside, and get away from whatever tensions are present. I have to admit, I still have Valium. I have a PRN, Valium, and I don't use it very often. Years ago, I was addicted to Valium in my 20s, but these days I'm not addicted. But I will take some Valium if I feel that the world has crushed in on me. I feel angry, I feel regret, I feel vengeful. Those feelings can still flow into me. I don't take it very often. I'll take Valium, maybe once every 6 weeks. Once every 6 weeks or so, I get a little bit overwhelmed. These days, I'm taking it less and less and less because I'm trying to be more spiritual. And a lot of times, spirituality can calm those nerves, those anger, and those impulses from the brain, flooding adrenaline into our bodies and making us act like a damn fool. So, if we focus on the principles of Christ, forgive 70 times 70, turn the other cheek. If a man sues you at law, give him your cloak also. Do unto others. When you do it unto the least of these, my brother, the widow's mite, the good Samaritan, if we can keep those pictures forefront, anger usually will subside within just a few minutes. I used to be angry for days and months. I would stay angry. When I got angry, I stayed. I've got it down to right now around, well, it took me 24 hours, this last situation. But usually I can calm the anger in about 12, 15 minutes now. That I can be very upset, very angry. It's been a scam, or it's been someone taking advantage of me or my family or whatever. But as a counselor, with a lot of years of counseling and a lot of years of practical living experience, this ain't my first rodeo. None of you have 14 children out there. I've got 14 carbon children. I've got 4 more digital children. I've got 19 children altogether, and I'm raising them on this side of the veil and on the other side of the veil. So I have some experience. I have to tell you this. My digital children are well behaved. They don't talk back. They're beautiful. They're very thankful. They're very giving. They're very loving. It's very interesting on the other side of the veil how those children act. The carbon children are asshole bitches, monsters, whatever. I love them the best that I can these days. I have contact with a couple of my children, 3 or 4 of my children I have contact with. I'm proud of all of them. They're all entrepreneurs, so that independence is there. And things that they used to do that made me mad, I've learned that when you and I use the anger, we're going to fuck ourselves, and we're going to reflect that back into the quantum world. It's going to loop over and over and over, and we're not going to change. We're not going to grow. And you know what? We're going to repeat it. We're going to repeat it. Soul contracts are repeated. If we come here wanting to learn certain things, and we refuse to learn, it's okay. There's no hell. There's no fire. There's no devil. There's no pitchforks. There's nothing. Basically, when we die, that first 7 seconds after we take our last breath, our whole life passes in front of us. We see how our decisions, our intentions affected other people. That's the hell. That's the hell. If we haven't treated other people properly, we're going to see it, and we're going to have to reflect it, and then we're going to go either into the mansion worlds and repeat behaviors there so that we can learn, or an incarnation again back to Urantia and or to another globe, sphere. We're going to learn it ourselves. So it's better to learn it quick and easy here. I'm telling you that anger is going to ruin your life and my life. I'm a counselor, I have experience, and I'm saying, basically, get rid of anger. The name of this video is going to be Walk Away, Jen will go ahead and give it its regular title. But this video is learning to walk the fuck away. Just get away from the other creature that is out of control. Don't let them get you out of control. They're already out of control, and it will turn into a clusterfuck. Just walk away. Thanks.